It's Caroline Stevens, Seeking the Truth. Apologies, first of all, for all the technical hitches. But yes, it looks like to me we are starting to record for sure. So, good evening. Phew.
Good evening.
It would be lovely to have money to provide with a full backup service, don't you reckon, Ali? I hope you're there, Ali. My system is playing up tonight. We're supposed to be. He's frozen. Why is it going to be one of those nights? Ah, you're back. Right, hello, you froze. Let's hope we're going to get a proper recording now. Okay, Ali, we met simply because somebody sent me one of your videos and I was really impressed with your honesty and integrity, and that's why I made contact with you.
Yeah.
Are you still there?
Are you still there?
I am still there, yes.
I think so.
Right, so you've been based down in London, haven't you?
Well, I'm near London. I'm by Crawley, by Gatwick Airport. I'm just by Gatwick Airport, Crawley. My name is Ali Dogan, and just a quick introduce, if you would like to.
Please.
Basically, yes, I'm one of the 25 people who started the first protest, obviously in the UK, and ever since then it's got, bigger and bigger. But
Danny, can I just stop you there? Which protest group was that? Which protest group were you part of?
That was, well, the first protest ever in the UK. That was on the 2nd of May this year, on front of the Met Police Station, next to the New Scotland Yard, and there was only 25 of us at that time. And that was the first ever protest which has started in the UK. There was no other protest ever before then. That was obviously like then when the proper lockdown was on, when you was only allowed 1 hour out of your house, with excuse, for certain excuse. And this is that's when we done the first protest, and then it went on every Saturday. And I was arrested on the 9th of May, the second ever protest in the UK. But then it was about 300 people, and I've been charged with going against the legislation of the COVID-19 and participating in a gathering for more than 2 people. And that went on to the court, and at court, it was all dropped. I had altogether about 39 fines, 39 of them, and I think I had a 10 grand fine as well. But when I went to the court, everything was dropped, everything. All the charges, all the fines, everything was dropped.
39 fines?
Sorry?
39 fines?
Yeah, 39 fines altogether. Because every time I turn up to the protest, they always find me. Maybe 2 or 3 times a day.
Oh, right. What was your group called?
Yeah. Yes, it did. Sorry?
What was your group called?
Oh, what the reason why they find me?
No, what was the name of your group?
Oh, well, the first protest when we ever done it, we didn't have a name of the group. We didn't. But it started at the second or the third one, I think. And we called it first Stand Up. That's what we called it at first. But obviously there was some issues going on between myself and another admin, and he always wanted to do things his own ways, which I didn't like. He was saying that we need apparently on that group a leader, and I wasn't very keen on that, because I said we are all leaders, we know what's going on, we're not sheeps. I said only people need leaders who needs who's unfortunately, consenting to all this crap that's going on, I said, we already awake, we know what we are doing, so we don't need a shepherd to herd us, And he didn't like it. So what I did is, because we was having a movement then, like, which is called Stand Up, not Stand Up X. So I literally said, you know what, I'm going to come off of being an admin, because when the followers see that the admins don't agree with each other, or, you know what I'm saying, like, disagree with each other, and you know, like, don't get along, the people who's following the movement, they're going to say, well, if the admins don't get along, how can we trust this movement? You know? So that's what I did. So I backed off, and I wasn't an admin anymore. And many, many more admins backed off as well, off that stand-up. And then after that, that certain person, which his name is Ixals, aka Nacho, he calls himself, but his real name is Miguel Salazar Ospina. That's what his real name is. And he says that he's from Cuba or Colombia, something like this, but he's not. He's Portuguese. And with that person, after he slipped up and he told me that he was working for the Lewisham Council, okay? And I thought to myself, you know, about, I think it was I backed up about mid-June. And mid-July, I asked him, I said to him, how are you still keeping your job at Lewisham Council, you know, but you're running a movement which is anti-vaccine, you know, anti-government, you know, you're literally against the system. So how can you keep your job? Because normally people who's working in the government, for the government, either council or NHS or anywhere else, if you do anything against vaccination and lockdown and everything, you will lose your job, just like that.
Yeah.
You know, they will, for misconduct, basically. And he said, oh, yeah, I'm under investigation. That's what he said. And now, he's apparently still under investigation, apparently, for such a long time now, you know. And Stand-Up X, you know, well, I'm going to talk about the peoples who's running Stand-Up X, which is Ixals, which is the main, you know, admin. And with his girlfriend, Kellyanne Scott, and obviously they started, okay, asking for money of the, you know, followers for donations. And I was completely against that. I didn't like it, okay. I said, you should not ask for money from the followers, because I said the most important thing, what they already are giving you, is that they are turning up to your rallies. So that should be important enough for you. And, well, he carried on, you know what I'm saying, like, asking for donations. But where I really went cross with him, is he was already, you know, taking donations in. And at that time, those donations were going in his girlfriend's private PayPal account. Okay.
What? So, right, for anybody who's just joined, it's Caroline Stevens Seeking the Truth, and I've got Ali Dogan online tonight. We had technical problems earlier on Facebook, so we're recording this on Skype, and so you'll see us both eventually on YouTube, hopefully. So we're talking about shills. Ali and myself have both had some real life examples and insight into how shills operate. And shills are controlled opposition, people who are put in place for a reason by the elites, which is one of the reasons probably why we've both had problems with our IT tonight, because we can't do this, unfortunately, live on Facebook. So Ali's focusing at the moment on Stand-Up X, which is a group that I've highlighted from their logo perspective. I haven't been going down to London like Ali has. I've avoided all the confrontations this year. So that's why Ali's got real inside information and inside information as to what's going on in an area that I don't really know at the grassroots level what's going on. So Ali, you've got two people. You've got a guy who's says he's Cuban or Brazilian, but he's actually Portuguese, and his girlfriend is a lady called Kelly. Are you there, Ali? Hopefully we'll get him back. So we're talking about Stand Up. And we're frozen.
back again.
You're
Right,
back.
it's just been
Fantastic. He's gone. Oh no. Connection. There was a problem with the network. Someone's tampering with the network. See, the phone works on just data, and that's what I'd have loved to have done this on. But the laptop, it says problem with the network, and he's gone. Let's see if we can get him back. Yeah. We'll get there. I hope. Okay. Oh, my Skype has just disappeared. Can't believe this. Ali, right. Hi, Ali, are you there?
Right. Yes, back again. You just frozen. I couldn't do nothing at all.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Where
Let's hope
were
this is
we?
gonna
We were
work.
talking about Stand-Up X and the people who were
Yes.
leading it.
Yes. Yes. And right. So should I carry on? Or?
Please, please, please.
Yeah. So basically, the donations what Stand-Up X was getting, literally Excels, it was going straight onto his girlfriend Kellyanne Scott's private PayPal account. That's where the donations were going. So it wasn't like crowdfunding. It wasn't transparent at all. The only thing you could see on that account is how much money is currently in there. But you could see who donated, okay, how much, who donated and how much they donated. But you couldn't actually see, okay, if there was any transfer from that private PayPal account to a different PayPal account or to a different bank account. Okay, you couldn't see nothing like that, and you couldn't see how much money altogether was donated either. Okay, so at that time, when I looked at that PayPal account from Kellyanne Scott. They had at that time over £9,000 of donations in there.
9,000?
Okay? Yes, but that is only what you could see. There's most likely thousands more than that, but that's only what you could see because it's a private PayPal account. Okay, and what happened after that is Nacho Excels, aka Nacho, started selling merchandise. Okay, he put up, say for example, like a hat with the Stand-Up X logo on front of it. He put it up for sale for £10, okay? And 2 hours later, he changed the price from £10 to £15. And obviously, that's got to me, okay? So I called him. I spoke to him on his phone, okay? He rang me, actually. And I said to him, I said, Nacho, I said, what are you trying to do? I said, you are already asking for donations. Why are you asking for donations? And he said to me, well, we need to, you know what I'm saying, like, fund all this. I said, well, funding what? I said, if you want to organize a rally, the only thing you need is social media, a phone. You just tell them a place, a time, and a date, and they will be there, you know? So what else do you need? Oh, we need, you know, he said leaflets. Okay, so how much are you paying for leaflets? He said to me either £50 or £150 a week, either one of them. Let's say it's £150 a week. Okay, so we got this in hand. I said, £150 a week. What else do you need? And he said to me that he needs a PA system, which he bought. And I said to him, how much did you pay for the PA system? He said £250. Okay, so that's altogether £400. So I said, so what else do you need? He said, oh, we need to open up a website. I said, I'm sure a website, if you know a website developer, I'm sure there's somebody in your movement who does the website developing, you know, who opens up a website. It will be free. And even if you have to pay for a website, to open up a website is £100. That's all you need to open up a website. So that's altogether now £500. And he said, oh yeah, but we want to upload videos and all that as well, so we need more, pay more. Okay, that is another £500. Okay, so there is a grant now, £1,000 altogether. And he said, oh yeah, we need megaphones. I said, no, you don't need megaphones, you already got them. Okay, you already got them, and you got already as well like PA systems, so you don't need a megaphone. Anyway, there's £1,000 altogether. So I said, you got £9,000 in your account. So why are you still keep asking for donations? Why? Oh, we need more things to do. We need to go around the country and blah, blah, blah. Okay, literally giving me excuses. So then I said to him, so how come, I said, Nacho, that you started selling merchandise like T-shirts and hats, wristbands, little carrier bags? I said, you said that you put it up for £10 at first on your Facebook, and then you changed the price from £10 to £15. Why? Why did you want £5 more, 50% more than what you did put it up originally? So he goes to me, oh, well, I'm paying £10 for that, so I thought we might £5 extra on it. I goes, why? He goes, well, what's the point in me selling this merchandise if I'm not going to make money out of it? I'm thinking, like, you are not there to make money.
Oh, my goodness me. That is truly shocking. So, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, this is what's happening on the grassroots. Stand-up acts, Ali, I mean, these are serious, this is serious, obviously serious allegations. The fact that the money has gone into a private bank account? PayPal.
A private PayPal account, that's where it went into, yeah. And always like they will keep asking for donations, okay? And at that time, okay, now I'm going to come from stand-up acts because they're all, and the people I'm going to mention now, they're all in the same boat, okay? They're all in the same thing. They just pretend they don't talk to each other, they have a problem with each other, they just pretend that, okay? I know that for a fact. Because on the 9th of May, the first protest ever in the UK, obviously there was only 25 of us. The second protest was on the 9th of May. On the 9th of May. The first protest was 2nd of May. The second protest was on the 9th of May, which was in front of the London Eye, next to the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but then it wasn't only 25 anymore. Then it was about 200 or 300 people. Okay. There was 200 or 300 people then. And what we did talk is with these 25 people who was there at first, we said, you know what, guys, there's more people going to be here. So what we're going to do is there's going to be, a few on the front, a few in the middle, and a few in the back, so we don't split up, so we all go in one thing. So that's what we did. But I was right up on the front of the crowd, okay? I was right up the front, with my megaphone in my hand because I bought a megaphone. I didn't have one at first. Oh, hang on a second. No, I didn't have a megaphone on the 9th of May either, okay? But coming to that Exults again, that Nacho, he said he was there from day one. Now, when we done this first ever protest, okay, which, for me, was very shifty. Very, very shifty. When we done this first protest on the 2nd of May, okay, that stand-up admin, Nacho, said that he was there from day one, okay, but he wasn't. He was there, but he wasn't part of our group. He was running around, okay, with a megaphone in his hand and 2 females with him. The only thing he was screaming was, no 5G, no 5G. That was it. He wasn't giving information about this COVID, so-called COVID. Yeah. He wasn't giving information about all the important things that's going on. Okay? Instead, though, in front of the Met police station, I literally myself was talking to 3 police officers. Okay? And they were actually fine at first. They were talking to us. They wasn't doing anything bad to us. And obviously one person got arrested that day.
One person got arrested?
Yeah. One person got arrested. And that person was an elderly man. He was about 60, 65 years old. Okay. And he got arrested because he was running around, screaming and all that. He wouldn't give his details to the police. And I always said to the people, if the police is asking you for your details, give it to them. Okay, just give him the details. And I said, if you don't give him your details, they will have a reason to arrest you, if you deny to give him your details. So I said, just give it to them. Whatever it is, give it to them. If they want to give you a fine, I said, because I felt it. I said, this is illegal. It's not a law. They can't fine you. And even if they do fine you, you can go against that in court. I said that because I said a regulation, a government guideline or an act is not a law. You only have to, obey to that if you give your consent to it. Okay? And, right. And that Exult, okay, if you look at that Exult, that Nacho at first time, the way he was dressing, the way he looked, it was very scruffy basically. And I'm telling you, he's very scruffy. Scruffy hair, scruffy clothes, like, and it was saying only 5G, 5G, nothing else. Okay, and there was actually, when I was talking to 3 police officers. I've got the videos on that day as well.
Yeah.
Okay? And I was talking to 1 female police officer, and there was 2 police officers next to them, and I was explaining it to them. If this so-called coronavirus is so bad, okay, the government is telling you they're locking you up. But I said, at the same time, they are telling you that the virus can't survive under the heat of the sun for more than 3 minutes. That's what they said at first, okay? That the heat of the sun kills the virus, okay? It can't survive it. So I said, so if this virus, dies on the heat of the sun, why do they lock people up? Why? And I said, the second thing is, if this coronavirus is so bad and they gave it all over on mainstream media, why do they always put fear into people? Saying, oh, this many people died, that many people died, this and that. Why do they give fear to people? Why don't they tell people, keep your immune system up with the certain vitamins that you need, which is A and B, which is fruit, vegetables, whatever. But the most important vitamin would have been the vitamin C, which is the sun. You need the sun for your immune system. It's very important. And obviously these police officers were listening to me, and the female police officer actually said, you know what, if I didn't have my uniform on, I would be standing right next to you right now because you talk so much sense. And then the 2 other police officers looked at her. And one of them said, really? And she goes, yeah, I would, because he's talking sense, Anyway, okay, so coming back to 9th of May, okay, so we was doing the march. We met up on front of the London Eye on the 9th of May. I was right on front of the group, okay. This was my first arrest and my second fine, because I got 1 fine on the 2nd of May, the previous week before that. So when we started walking, literally marching, okay, we was going to march to Parliament Square. So when you walk from London Eye, you go up the stairs onto the bridge, and we was going to pass the bridge and go to Parliament Square. But there was already so many police there, they literally blocked the top of the stairs for us to go on top of the bridge. So when I saw the police blocking the bridge, the stairs, so I said to everyone, literally like shouting backwards, I said, everyone go through the tunnel. Pass through the tunnel. Don't go up the stairs, go through the tunnel. So we went through the tunnel, and as soon as we went through the tunnel, the police came straight in, stopped every one of us, okay, and started dishing out fines. Okay, started handing out fines. So they gave me a fine, but the police told me, we think that you're leading all this, that you organized this. And I said, I didn't organize it. I said, nobody organized this. We came together as one on just last week on front of the Met Police Station. And then we decided, let's do another one. Okay, so this is basically, we all did it. We all here for the same reason. Okay. So they gave me a fine, and the police said to me, my car was parked next to the London Eye, okay, the road across it. The police said they are giving me, they said I need to go home. So what I thought to myself is, I walk back to my car, okay, I get in my car, I park my car somewhere else, and I go back to Parliament Square. Okay, that's what we all agreed. We're all going to disperse, but we're going to meet back up again in Parliament Square. So anyway, I went back up the stairs, and I was going to go to my car, and the police said, this road is blocked off. Said, you need to go around the building to get back to your car. You got 40 minutes. I said, yeah, that's fine, no problem. So I started walking around, and not even 10 minutes, the police stopped me again. They stopped me again. There was one more person in front of me. They stopped him as well, whose name is Jay. Well, I'm not going to name his name. He might not want to, okay? So they was arresting someone, and I was seeing it. So I was walking towards him, and they stopped me. And they said, well, you've already been given a fine. Why are you still walking around? So I tried to explain to him, that road where my car is, I couldn't get in there because the police blocked it. The police officer told me that I've got 40 minutes to get back to my car and go back home. And he goes, well, I'm going to give you another fine. I goes, yeah, that's fine. Give me another one. I don't mind. He said my name and everything. I gave him my details. And just before he was going to hand the fine over to me, the female sergeant police officer came and said, oh, yeah, don't bother with fines. He said, just arrest them. Yeah, just arrest them. That's what the police officer said, the sergeant. So they arrested me, and they kept me for 10 hours in Brixton Police Station. That's where they kept me for 10 hours. But when the time came, when I was in Brixton Police Station, when they were booking me into the custody, I said to these 2 police officers, I said, look guys, I said, the day will come that I said, you already know that you're already doing something unlawful. I said, you arresting me and finding me, whatever I said, is unlawful. This is not a criminal matter. This is a civil matter, because I said a government guideline, legislations or regulations or an act is not a law. Okay, and I said, and I don't, agree with a joint review. And I said, but I said, the day will come that you people, you police officers, I said, you are going to admit that you've been arresting people wrongfully. And I said, when the time comes, when I've been, like everything has been dropped on the court, when the court case comes, because they charged me. And I said, I'm going to press charges against this police officer, I said, who arrested me for kidnapping. Because I said, he put handcuffs on me, he put me back on the van, and he took me away against my will. I said, that is kidnapping. Because I said, I haven't done nothing against the law. And the second, I said to the sergeant, I said, I'm going to press charges against you for false imprisonment, because you're imprisoning me, for nothing. And anyway, he just laughed at me. I said, okay, so they charged me with going against the COVID legislations, and they charged me with with participating in a gathering for more than 2 people. Okay. And after 10 hours, I came out, and they gave me bail conditions. The bail condition was 2 of them. One of them was I can't enter Westminster. They banned me from Westminster. And the second one was that I can't participate in a gathering for more than 2 people. Okay? So that was on the 9th of May. On the 13th of May or the 14th of May, either one of them, that woman, Crusader Dick, the police woman.
Yep.
I know the second name of hers is a bit funny. She looks like one as well. But anyway, that policewoman, Crusader Dick, did come on the mainstream media and said that the CPS is admitting that the police has been arresting and finding people unlawfully, that the police are not going to enforce, the legislations anymore. That's what happened. That was the 13th or 14th of May. So there was another protest again, obviously been organized on the 16th of May in Hyde Park. And there was at least like 1,500 people there then. So I thought, like, you know what? I don't care about the bail conditions. I am going to go to that protest. So which I did. I went to the protest, and it's then, that day, when I met Piers Corbyn, the biggest infiltrator going around.
Did you hear
the
that,
biggest
everybody?
one. Sorry?
I just said to people, did you hear that? Piers Corbyn, the biggest infiltrator, allegedly.
Oh, yes. He's the biggest one. He's the very biggest one. I mean, he's a liar, he's a con artist, he's an infiltrator. I mean, well, I'm going to come to it. Anyway, when on the 2nd and 16th of May, I went to Hyde Park, and the 2 police officers, literally, the sergeant who put me in custody, and the police officer who arrested me, were literally there. So I walked into the Hyde Park, and obviously people was around me, at least 100. They said, oh, Ali, we're not going to let you arrest again this time. No chance. I said, leave, guys. I said, just leave it. They're not going to arrest me. They're not going to arrest none of them. And anyway, I saw these 2 police officers, and I said, hello, guys, you all right? And he goes, oh, Mr. Dogan, you're not supposed to be here. I goes, well, yeah, I went against the bail. I said, you're going to arrest me then? And they goes, oh, no, we're not going to arrest you. I said, why not? Why are you not? Because I said your superior said just a few days ago on live mainstream media that you've been arresting and finding people unlawfully. Is that right? Yeah, that's what he said. He just done his eyebrows like that. And said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, listen, guys, I said, back then it was my first court date, and it was normally on the 3rd of June. I said, when 3rd of June comes and this court case is going to get dropped, I said, I will press charges against you. And he goes, oh, you're not going to go with it, are you? I goes, yeah, bloody right I am. So watch me. And anyway, then I saw Nacho, and I've been introduced to Piers Corbyn the first time. And I didn't even know at that time that Piers Corbyn was the brother of Jeremy Corbyn. I didn't know that. Because, I mean, it doesn't mean just because, the surnames are the same, it doesn't mean they have to be related. There's many, many more Mr. or Mrs. Smiths around, but they're never related to each other. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know he was the brother of Piers Corbyn. Anyway, I met Piers Corbyn, and he said to me, oh, Ali, how are you? Then I looked at him, and I'm very honest, I'm a very blatant person. I looked at him, and I said, well, Piers, there's something about you that I don't like. But I said, I will find that out. He goes, oh, well, right then. I goes, well, there's something about you, I don't like you. I mean, there's something there. There's something there. I can feel something which you are not right for me, okay? Anyway, again, it was that Nacho who was working very closely with Piers Corbyn, that excels, the main admin of Stand Up X at first. Okay, and he said, apparently, that's what Piers Corbyn told me. He said, oh, Nacho wants me to run Stand Up X. Okay. I said, what? Well, Nacho asked me to run it. So that's why, and then what Piers Corbyn said to me is that he said to Nacho, well, you are running it all together, so let's do it together. Run it together. Right, okay. So then what happened is, every time, we done a protest, okay, Nacho, that excels, the main admin of CNFX, he didn't like me. Because the reason why he didn't like me is, every time when I was speaking, well, he was speaking on the microphone, okay, on the megaphone, or on the PA system, on the microphone, whatever it is, but he was always repeating the same crap, what other people already said just previously before him, okay? And he was either reading from a paper, or he was reading from a phone, okay? Literally what's been given to him to read out. So when I go onto the microphone, I just say what my information is, what my opinion is, what my truth is, what I looked into it. I just speak, coming from the heart, coming from a passion. That's what I do. And mainly I speak for Save Our Children, because I'm mainly, protesting against pedophilia. Okay, that's what I do. And there was once a protest on the 1st of August, which was against pedophilia. We went to the BBC. No, sorry, that was in July. We went one in July to BBC. Piers Corbyn and Nacho was there. And Nacho wouldn't let me speak on the microphone because he didn't like it. Because the more I spoke, because about Nacho, this excels, for him is more about ego. It's about popularity. You know what I'm saying? And I understand why now he didn't like people who's getting more popular than him, because after, when we stopped going to the Stand-Up X rallies, okay, he started asking for donations, obviously. At first, we was against that, okay? So, he didn't let me speak, and when we was at BBC, I spoke on the megaphone, because Piers Corbyn spoke, and Piers Corbyn said to Nacho, give me that megaphone, and they handed it over to me. And he said, Ali, speak. He said, you are a very good speaker. You got good information. He said, tell the people. So I spoke at BBC, and obviously many, many people, listened, and they applauded and everything. And coming back again on the 1st of August, when I went there again, okay, that was the last time I went. And the reason why I went there is, that was because it was a rally for children, for Save Our Children, against pedophilia. That's why I went. And Nacho wouldn't let me talk. Neither he would let me talk at Hyde Park, he wouldn't let me talk at BBC or anywhere else, okay? But they were going, like stupid places like Oxford Street, walk through Oxford Street, go to Trafalgar Square, go to, to places where there's a lot of CCTV cameras, okay? And to places where there's certain exits and entrance so the police can block you in, That's where they were taking people, and I didn't like that. Anyway, when I met Piers Corbyn, coming back now, okay, to the court thing, because Piers Corbyn was arrested, and Piers Corbyn, I was in the same court room as Piers Corbyn. He was in the same court. And Piers Corbyn started doing the crowdfunding, okay?
Piers Corbyn started doing crowdfunding?
Yes. Like I said, all these people, okay, are peeing in the same pot, basically, okay? They're all being... obviously, we're going to come to the other names, like Simon Dolan, like Mark Steele. We're going to come all to that, okay, just step by step, so we can explain this to people properly. And when we was at court, I asked Piers Corbyn, I said, Piers, why are you asking for donations? And he said, oh, I'm asking for that. He called it the legal aid, crowdfunding. They called it the legal aid donations. Legal aid. I said, why is that legal aid? Well, I said, I'm asking for donations, and he said that he's getting donations for people like me and like other people who's getting charged and going to court. And if they can't afford a solicitor, he said that he's going to pay for those people, for their solicitors, with those donations, which he's asking. Okay? So nobody has to go to the court without a solicitor, without a representative. I said, right. I said, Piers, I think it's still not right to do such thing, because I said, whoever is getting arrested and getting charged and goes to court, that is their own, problem, basically. Because when they go to protest, they know they've got the risk to get arrested. They know they've got the risk to get fined and to get charged. so they should sort it out themselves. But again, I said, if you are going to do what you are going to say you're going to do, I said, fair enough. If you are going to help people, to pay for their solicitors to go through this, fair enough. Okay, as long as you do what you say. And he said, yeah, 100%, I'm going to do that. And he said, we will see you again. I will see you again at court. So if you don't have a solicitor, I will pay for one. I said, all right. So anyway, we went to court on the 3rd of June at first. So when I went there, I was there about 9:30. So I waited till about 10:30. There was nobody there at that time. Piers Corbyn wasn't there, and 2 more people. They weren't there. And I'm thinking, like, why are they not here? So I was in Magistrates Court in Westminster, and I was the 3rd floor, Court 9. That's where I was, okay, on the 3rd of June. So about 11 o'clock, I walked into the courtroom, and I said, look, guys, I'm here. I'm supposed to have my court at 9:30, but nobody called me, so you don't think I'm late. I've been here since 9:30. I've been waiting an hour and a half. So the judge looked at the papers. He said, what's your name? So I gave her my name, and she goes, you're not in my court. I goes, what do you mean I'm not in your court? My court is today, and I showed her the papers from the police. I goes, there you go. And goes, well, in a computer. I said, well, down at the reception, they said I need to come to court 9, 3rd floor. Well, go back to the reception and ask them again. So I went back down to the reception, and I talked to that female, and the female goes, well, you are in court 9. 3rd floor. I goes, well, obviously I'm not. I just spoke to the judge. I was there for 1.5 hours. Obviously I'm not there. And then she went and called the manager. The manager came back. He looked at the computer and goes, oh, you're one month early. And I looked and I goes, are you taking the mick off me? So what do you mean I'm 1 month early? I said, look, I said, there's a paper, 3rd of June. Oh, they adjourned it to 3rd of July. I said, what? And you didn't bother to tell me that. You didn't bother to tell me that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't bother to send me a letter to my home address and telling me that my court has been adjourned from the 3rd of July, for the 3rd of June to the 3rd of July. Anyway, obviously, I had an argument with them there. I told them off. Okay, I said, do your fucking jobs properly. And if you don't want to do it, then leave the job. Okay, anyway, I went back home. Okay, and coming back to the 3rd of July. So I turned up at the 3rd of July. This time, Piers Corbyn was there. And the other 2 or 3 people was more there as well, who was in the same courtroom as me. Same as Piers Corbyn. But Piers Corbyn seemed a bit off. Anyway, we went into the courtroom. But like when the defendant gets into a certain table, you have to stand there, the defendant. Okay? And there's a public area as well, where you sit in a public area. So, oh, sorry, just 1 second. I just got a phone call coming in. Yeah, I cancelled it. That's it. Sorry about that. So, basically, okay, we was at the defendant table, but for some reason, okay, Piers Corbyn was sat in a public area. So I was thinking to myself, why is he sitting over there? I mean, he's supposed to be here with us, at the defendant table, who's being charged. But why is he sitting over there? Okay, that's what I was thinking. And the second thing, what I was thinking as well, I've been arrested on the 9th of May. Piers Corbyn has been arrested on the 16th of May, week after me. So why is he in the same courtroom with me? And then apparently I heard that Piers Corbyn saying, oh yeah, I've been arrested on the 9th of May. I've been going, no, you wasn't. You wasn't even down on the 9th of May. You participated the first time at the protest on the 16th of May. Because I was saying this, on my live feed when I started, exposing it. I said, I just don't understand why he was in the same court day with me, even though he was arrested a week later, okay? And even if
can I just say,
yeah.
Piers Corbyn being in the same court, how did he know not to turn up the month before?
Exactly.
See, I tell you, scams.
Yeah, but it's going to come more than that. He's going to get more than that, okay? So basically, okay, on the 3rd of July, okay, because our court has been updated again to October. That was a trial, okay? That's where everything was dropped, all right? So on the 3rd of July, Piers Corbyn was sitting in a public area. We was at the defendant's table. And obviously, first, the other 2 people gave their statements, and then the judge asked me for my statement, okay? And I said to the judge, I said, I'm going to ask you, I've got a few questions to you, if you don't mind. She goes, go ahead. I said, all right. I said, so why am I here? That's why I said in the courtroom. I said, why am I here? She goes, well, because you've been charged. I goes, why have I been charged? I haven't committed anything criminal. And I said, this is the criminal court, not a civil court.
Right.
You know? I said, why am I here? Well, you went against the legislation of the COVID-19. All right. I said, that's not a law. And she goes, oh, that is a law. I goes, no, it's not. I said, a legislation, a government guideline, a regulation, or an act is not a law. So it's not a law. And she goes, well, a legislation is a law. I goes, no, it's not. I said, legislation is different and law is different. Okay? Law is everyone has to obey to that, whether you consent or you don't. Okay? But a legislation or an act, you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? To obey to it. That's why they call this a government guideline. That's why they don't call it a law. They call it a restriction or a guideline. So they are asking you, not to do those things, what they're telling you not to do. They're not telling it to you. They're asking you not to do it. Okay? So she said to me, well, it is a law. I goes, look, I said, it's not a law. I said, anyway, I said, I'm not going to go, back and forth with you on that because that's going to be going around in circles. And then that's why I said, I'm a very open person, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I was talking to the judge. And I said, to be honest, I said, and the judge goes to me like, well, you are telling me that why I know and why I don't know. I said, no, I'm not telling you anything. I said, I'm educating you here right now. And she goes, what do you mean you're educating me? I said, just an example, I said, I'll go one more question. Is an act a law? I said, does an act mean that is it a law? She goes, no, it's not. Well, there you go. You just said that. You just told me that the act is not a law. She goes, yeah, that's right. So how come a legislation or government guideline is a law then? How does that work? And then she looked and she fought for herself for about 5 seconds, looked in the air. Oh, I see what you mean. I goes, well, there you go then, Mrs. I said. There you go. And then obviously there was one person next to me. He goes like, mate, you don't need a solicitor. I'm telling you that right now. I said, you defend yourself much better than a solicitor would defend you. And anyway, they give their statements, but Piers Corbyn didn't say nothing. So they asked us, they said, we are putting your trial to the 23rd of July, okay? And they asked me, do you have a representative? Are you going to come with a solicitor? And I said, no, I can't afford one. So I said, I don't have a solicitor. I'll be representing myself. And the guy next to me said the same thing. They can't afford it, so they'll be representing themselves. And obviously, I was expecting when we leave the courtroom that Piers Corbyn is going to come up to me or to the other person and say, look, if you don't have a solicitor, I'm going to pay for one. You know, that's why I was expecting.
Can I just say, can I just ask you, how much money had he collected by that point?
Oh, I'm going to come to that. Okay, at that point, I don't know. But I'm going to come to that, how much money was in there and how much money was left. Okay, I'm going to come to that very shortly now. Okay, so we went outside and this guy, he said that his dad did get a solicitor for him. But he said, I'm going to go and talk to Piers Corbyn to get a solicitor for you, Ali. I said, don't bother, I said. Don't even bother. I said, there's something about him, I don't like him. Don't even bother. But he did. He went up to him and said, so I said, Ali hasn't got a solicitor, so are you going to pay him for one? You know? Or at least he said, get you a solicitor to defend him. You know, and pay you a solicitor a little bit more extra money. He said, nah, not going to do it. Yeah. So after that, many, many more people has got in contact with me and said to me that they were arrested and charged. And they said they asked Piers Corbyn for help with the donations, what he was getting, to pay for a solicitor. And Piers Corbyn didn't reply to none of them. Literally none of them. And that's then when I started, confronting him. When I started exposing him. When I talked everything about the crowdfunding he's asking for, but he never pays for anything. Anyway, the next court was on the 23rd of October. Okay? Now, for some reason, okay, there was 3 people at that time that in that court. It was me, one more person, and Piers Corbyn. Okay? But for some reason, I don't know how that worked, but mine and that other person's court, because I said to Piers Corbyn, when I'm coming in October to that court on the 23rd, I said, I know you're in the same court date with me. I said, I will be doing a live feed on front of the court, and I will be questioning you about all this money, what you have been asking for donations, but you have never been helping anyone who needed a solicitor. You ignored every single one of them. And I told him that, and he knew that. He knew that I was going to do it. So somehow that my court date and the court date of the other guy was forwarded to the Monday, to the 26th of October. But Piers Corbyn's court was still on the 24th, on the 23rd. How? So why is his court date not been, placed forward from Friday to Monday, but ours did? I was asking a question as well. Because I told him, I said to him, I'll be doing a live feed, I'll be confronting him, asking him about the donations, that you haven't been helping people, including me, because I'm in the same court with him, So I thought this is a bit dodgy for me. That he's got still the same day in the courtroom, but they put my court date and the other guy's court date forward to the 26th. But that seemed dodgy for me as well. Anyway, so after that, I started, all the way back in August, I started already exposing Piers Corbyn for donations. And what I did see, what I've been told, I did see it as well. I just wish I took screenshots of it, but at that time I didn't think of it, so I didn't. I didn't think of it. I just went angry when I saw that amount in that account. I really, really went angry. And I'm glad that Piers Corbyn wasn't there that day, because I would have slapped him. I really would have done, So Piers Corbyn has collected altogether, what I did see was £97,000.
£97,000 collected by the
Piers Corbyn.
I was going to say, Jeremy Corbyn, the ex-Labour leader. They are so strapped for cash, is that family, that his brother has collected minimum £97,000 and kept it for himself.
Right, I'm going to come to that, So it went up to over £100,000 because that guy who was, that female who was working with him at that time, who was doing the crowdfunding for him, she told me everything. Because they fell out, apparently. They fell out, so she started talking, And she said he collected £100,000. So basically, he's been getting questioned about these donations. And there was a lot of people going against him, saying to him, Ali is right, why is that money not transferring? Where is that money? What are you doing with that money? Blah, 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 So Piers Corbyn needed a way out because he was starting losing, followers, because of me exposing him. He started losing followers. So Piers Corbyn, don't get me wrong, he's a very, very clever person. I'm telling you that now. He's very clever. His brain does work, even though he's a smelly old Merlin, but his brain does work, So anyway, coming to the 29th of August, to the protest at Parliament, at Trafalgar Square, I didn't want to go to that protest, but I went to that protest because Nacho exalts who I've been exposing about, collecting money as well, which is, the main admin of Stand Up X, he said to me, come on the 29th to the protest at Trafalgar Square, that's Exals, aka Nacho, Stand Up X admin. He said, I'm going to prove you that I haven't spent the money, anything else except for the movement. All right, I will do that. But I said, I just don't want to see receipts. I want to see your girlfriend's private PayPal account. I want to see how much money went in there, how much money you got all together as donations, and if there was any transfer from that private PayPal account of your girlfriend, where the donation was going in, to a different private PayPal account or to a different bank account. And if there was money transfers, you have to, show me and prove me why these transactions has been made, And he stopped there for a second, didn't reply, but I said, okay, turn up. So I turned up on the 29th of August, And they put like a gate, that time when David Icke came to that protest as well, and Mark Steele and everyone else, Chico and all that, that Kate Lemonani, whatever her name is, I can't pronounce her second name, that fake, nurse, because she's saying that she's a natural nurse in a toxic world. No, you're not. You're a toxic nurse in a natural world. That's what you are. Anyway, I went there and there was like a gate. They done a gate, like a gap between the crowd and the stage. Okay, so I went through the gate because many of the stand-up acts security, well, even like then, stand-up acts had security there for them. And I'm thinking like, why do you need security? Why? The security is the people who's already there. 35,000 people who came to the protest. They are your security. They are there for you. Anyway, so when I went there, that nacho, it was 3 of us. Okay, so that nacho said, as soon as he saw me, he said to one of his security guys, get rid of him, get him out of here, get him out of here. Don't let Ali come anywhere near me. Okay, so that security guy, but didn't know me. He didn't know who I was. He came up to me and he goes to me like, oh mate, you need to leave this area and go behind the gate. So I looked at him and I said to him, do you know who I am? And I said, who the hell are you? I said, telling me where I can and can't stand. Who are you? He goes, well, the organisers don't want you now, because I couldn't give, a crap what they want or not. I said, I am standing here and I will stand here and I will not move. And obviously, like, then I realized, obviously, like, Nacho, aka Exals, has got something to hide. Because he could have shut me up. He could have said to me, Ali, come here. Look, there's the PayPal account. There was no transfer. There is the receipts, what we spent the money on. Okay, done and dusted. Okay, all this questioning would have stopped. Okay, but it didn't. He avoided me. And anyway, at that time, the organizers knew if they say that they are one of the organizers, they will get arrested and they will get fined. Okay, so none of the organizers said they are the organizers or one of the organizers. But what did the smelly old Merlin do? Mr. Piers Corbyn. He came up, yeah, I'm one of the organisers. Now, why would you want to say that? You know that you're going to get arrested if you say that. You know that you're going to get fined £10,000 fine if you're going to say that. You know that. So why do that? Obviously, he's very clever because he was getting questioned. Anyway, he got arrested. They put a stop to that crowdfunding, okay? But guess how much was left in there? What they, gave people back, refunded people back. £3,300. That was what was left in there. 3,300. And we have to remember, Piers Corbyn is one of the Fabian Society.
So where has £97,000 gone?
I'm going to come to that. Because a friend of mine questioned him about that. And he came up with such a stupid answer, it's unbelievable. Okay? Anyway, he's got arrested. So there was £3,300 left in the bank account. So then I'm thought to myself, why 3,300? Oh, hang on. That's a Masonic number, 33. Okay, that makes sense, Anyway, once he was arrested, he was given £10,000 fine. He started asking for a second crowd fund. But I knew that was coming. Okay? And that crowd fund was for him to pay for his £10,000 fine. Okay? So people gave him money from a good heart because he's been arrested, that they didn't want him to get in trouble, so they donated money to him. I saw that account again, but when I saw it, there was £26,000 in that account. £26,000. But again, the other guy said, he said, Ali said, that's just what you did see. He said there was, again, over £60,000 donations in that crowdfunding. Okay? But I'm not saying there was, I didn't see it. That's what I've been told. But I know for sure there was £26,000 in there, because I've seen it. Okay? And what happened after that is, Piers Corbyn went onto the mainstream media on ITV with Piers Morgan on the This Morning programme, where Piers Morgan was literally pouncing onto Piers Corbyn, okay? And obviously, what really pissed me off is at that time, okay, when Piers Corbyn started getting questioned even more, okay, is he said, I will, and this is what I quote, this is exactly what he said, I will not pay for the £10,000 fine. My intentions was never to pay for that. And I just went literally ballistic at the TV. I was shouting at the TV, thinking like I'm shouting at Piers Corbyn. I'm thinking like, you bloody bastard, you smelly old Merlin, you're asking people for money so you can pay for the £10,000 fine. Now you're spitting into the people's faces who donated money to you, telling them, oh, you idiots, you paid me all this money, but I'm not going to pay for that £10,000 fine anyway.
That's
Now,
shocking. That's truly shocking.
yes, he said that on the live mainstream media. He said that he will not pay for the £10,000 fine, that he was not willing to pay for it, and it was never his intention to pay for it. So then I'm thinking, why did you ask for crowdfunding then if you wasn't going to pay for it anyway? Why did you ask for that money? And that's another thing. Where did now coming to that question, what you said to me, where the other money went. So there was a protest, okay, and somebody I know again, I don't want to name him that right now. I said to him, ask Piers Corbyn what happened to the rest of the £100,000, because there was only £3,300 left on that account when it was frozen by the police, okay, but there was only 3,300 left. So where is the rest of the £96,700 gone? Okay, now considering this is only the first crowdfund, not the second one, after he was asking for £10,000 fine. And you know what he said to him? Oh, I just used that to travel around the country to do the rallies. What, 96 grand you did that? 96 grand.
You're hearing this, people? This is what Piers Corbyn has allegedly been using your money.
Yes, apparently. But again, though, I mean, you don't need £97,000 to go to rallies.
No.
And again, that was £97,000 which was missing. But what happened to the other second crowdfunding? £10,000s of pounds. What is he using for that? What is he using that money for? You know? That's another question again. And obviously, that's the thing with Piers Corbyn and Ixal's and Kelly Ann Scott, which is Ixal's, stand-up ex-admin, which is Ixal's girlfriend, where the PayPal account was going, where the crowdfunding was going into a private PayPal account. Okay? So that's that. Now, we mentioned now Ixal's, stand-up ex-admins, not the movement. I've got nothing against the followers, is actually the organizers who I'm against. Okay? So, now, who should we talk about now? Say, for example, like Mark Steele. I want to come to Mark Steele. Okay, now, I didn't know much about Mark Steele at first. Okay, I didn't know much about that first, but I've been told to look into a company which is called Review Worldwide Ltd UK. Okay, I knew that Mark Steele was taking the council, to court. Apparently of how, I know how damaging 5G is, okay, but he's taking the council to court about 5G. So when I looked into that company, which he is running with his brother Graham Steele, I think his name is, which they build smart homes. And I'm thinking like, hang on a minute. I mean, how can you work with the council, building smart homes for the council and smart cities, but then you are taking the council to the court because of 5G. But you are building 5G. You are building smart homes. And I feel like something is not right there. Okay? So then when I saw him talking, obviously he's talking very spiritual, he's talking about God, he believes in God and this and that. But then I'm thinking like, it doesn't always mean that you really do believe in God just because you say you believe in God. I mean, if you look at that, Satan believes in God, but he doesn't like him. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, So, anyway, then I looked further into it, okay? Then I talked to somebody called Lee Garnett, who was literally, supporting him 100%, okay, who's been knowing him for a while. And I've heard that apparently that he has shot a teenage girl, killed a teenage girl, and he was in prison for that. Obviously, like, I had so many questions, okay? So I've talked to Lee Garnett, and Lee Garnett I said to Lee Garnett, give my number to Mark Steele and get him to call me, okay? So I can ask him the questions, what I've got to ask him, okay? And he said, yeah, no problem. So I called Mark Steele. I was on the phone to him, and I asked him many questions, but the only problem is I never got any answer for that question. He only told me what he thinks and what he's trying to do. He was talking about the Grenfell Towers, that the Grenfell Towers, the fire started because of the smart, what do you call it? The electric things, the gas.
There was the cladding, wasn't? And there was the cladding. That was a problem with that as well.
Yes, well, that's what he was saying to me, okay? But I wasn't interested in that. I wanted to know about his involvement with his company. But then he said to me, I gave up this company. I goes, did you give up your company, a multi-million-dollar company? You're just going to say, oh yeah, I'm just going to give up multi-millions of pounds so I can help people. Yeah, okay, okay. Tell that someone who will believe that, because I won't, And I said to him, okay, I said, so if you did give up the company, so why is your name still on Horizon 2020? Working with the government. Why? My name had to be there because my brother's running the company. Yeah, okay, mate. That answered me that question as well. I don't want to know anymore. Okay. So I stopped talking to him. Okay. And he was keep telling me, oh yeah, you should do this and you should do that. I was like, look, man, I ain't doing anything that you're saying. And he said to me, well, you should join me. You should join my movement. Well, no, I'm not going to do that either. I'm not going to do that either. And now I'm seeing, now he started a political party, a rally basically. He wants to get into politics. He started a web page, which is called Save Us Now. And when you go onto that web page, bang, straight and big, donation. Why? Why are you asking for donation? For what? And the second thing, the third thing, when I asked him as well, why are you working with Simon Dolan? Your company is working with Simon Dolan. And he goes,
I didn't know that. I must admit, I didn't know that. I knew
Yes.
that Mark Steele had been involved. Annie Logica called him out a year and a half ago now, 2 years almost, about his business involvement and Horizon, which is Zion, Horizon 2020, and that's connected with the EU.
If you look at Zion again, 1 second. If you look at Zion again, now what does Zion, one thing tells me with Zion, Zionism. Zion.
Yes.
Zionism, So, yeah, look into Mark Steele, okay, if you would like to. Obviously, I'm guessing you know a lot about him.
I do.
Okay? But he is involved with Simon Dolan. Okay?
I didn't know that.
Yes, he is. His company is involved with Simon Dolan. They are working with Simon Dolan, okay? And it's not just her. So I said to him, Mark, one of my questions to Mark Steele, what do you think about Kate Shermani? Okay? Because Kate Shermani, nobody knew who Kate Shermani was. She just popped out of nowhere like a weasel, like Pop goes the weasel. Where'd you come from? Why did nobody know about you before? Why are you coming up now? Who are you? Oh, apparently she's a fucking natural nurse in a toxic world. Yeah, okay, whatever. Okay. So anyway, I said to Mark Steele, what do you think about Kate Shermani? What her name is?
I can't even say it now myself.
I can't say it. Sorry?
Shermani,
yeah. So I said, what do you think of her? And he goes to me, well, what do you think of her? I said, I've seen her speaking, okay? I've seen her speaking, but I said, what I felt from her is, I said, I only saw ego in that woman. I didn't see no passion coming out of that. And I said, in my opinion, she is not a natural nurse, because I said, she's living in a £700,000 home. What normal nurse does live in a £700,000 home? Her ex-husband is a multimillionaire. I think it was Libyan or Iranian, something like that.
Iranian.
Yeah. And I said, I don't trust her. Because I said, I don't see no passion in her. I only see ego in her. That's all I see. Nothing more and nothing less. And I said, the second thing is, I said, why I don't like her. Because I did ask her, let's do a rally before, when I met her first time, when I saw her first time. I said, why don't you do a rally for Save Our Children? She said, oh, I'm not interested in that. Now, that was a point where I thought, up yours. Somebody who is not interested to do a rally for Save Our Children, I'm not interested in you whatsoever. Okay? Whatsoever. Anyway, so then I said to Mark Steele, so what do you think of that? So Mark Steele told me, oh, I trust her 100%. Then I said, why? Can you give me a reason why do you trust her? Yeah, I can give you that reason, he said. Because he said, whatever Kate whatever Kate does, okay, or whatever she says, I'm telling Kate what she should do and what she should say. Kate is not going to say anything unless I tell her so. Okay? So basically he's saying to me that he's got the strings of Kate in his hands. He's guiding Kate to say and what to do and all that. Okay? And, yeah. And just recently now again, I don't know, I think it was last week sometimes, I've got a message. Oh, a large gathering is happening. Please participate. So I messaged back. I said, who is this? And guess what name popped up? Mark Steele.
Who invited you to this large gathering?
Mark Steele.
Oh, I see. He invited you. Oh, right. It wasn't just him attending then. Who else
No.
Who else?
It is his phone number. I've got his mobile number. I've got his private number.
Yep.
He messaged me on my private number. The last time I've spoken to him was about 3 months ago. That was the last time ever I spoke to him. And he just messaged me last week sometimes. Last week it was, he messaged me, oh, there's a large gathering, please participate. And I messaged back because I didn't save his number. I messaged back, I said, who is this? And then he replied back, Mark Steele. I didn't even bother replying back to him. You know, I was going to reply and I was going to say, I think you got the wrong person. Okay, but I didn't bother. You know, I said, I'm not going to even bother replying back to him. You know, so that is again, now, Mark Steele. Okay, now, I found something out because, again, all these people, except Mark Steele, okay, Chimani, I don't know them very well. I just looked into it. You know, I just researched about them. But the rest of the people, like Piers Corbin, X-Cells, aka Nacho, Stand-Up X, basically, okay, again, like Kellyanne Scott, which is his girlfriend, okay.
So who is she
Stand-Up
then?
Acceptance. Kellyanne Scott. I don't know. She's just a woman who turned up at the rallies. That was about it. That's all I know about her. But she is the girlfriend of X-Cells, aka Nacho, you know, the main admin of Stand-Up X. That's his girlfriend. Okay? And now, obviously, we talked last time, now coming to a different person, who I know as well, personally. We're coming now back to Gaza Tiljani. Okay? Mr. Giza. That's who we're coming to now. Okay? So, when I met Gaza first, he was obviously down at the Downing Street, at the pen. Okay? At first, he was protesting to save our children. That's why I met him, how I met him first. And he was asking for donations, apparently, of some child abuse victims who were in prison. Okay, asking for donations for them, to help them. Even I gave donation for that. I wish I didn't, because I didn't know him, but I did. Okay? Just coming out of my heart, because it's a child abuse victim who's in prison, who's having a tough time, you know, which is understandable. So I did like to help. So anyway, I met him there, and you know, we talked. I've got his private number, and he gave me his private number, and we met and we talked. But then again, he said that he wanted, you know, to do a big rally. Okay, he said he's going to go around up north. Okay, go to different cities and get people to come down to London, right? So I've been told. So one of my mates called me and he said to me, "Oh, Ali, guess what?" I goes, "What?" He goes, "You know when Giza said that he's outing Stand-Up X?" I said, "Yeah." "He's outing Nacho and all that because they're infiltrators." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Guess who is, you know, going, you know, who's driving him all to the different counties of up north?" Okay. I said, "Who?" He goes, "Wes Gardner." And Wes Gardner is ex-Stand-Up X admin. Okay. And he is a Bitcoin scammer as well. He is advertising Bitcoins. Okay, he's advertising cryptocurrency basically. He's saying to people, buy Bitcoins, do this and do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you're going to make money. That's how you're going to earn money. But then I'm thinking to Wes Gardner, if you are going against the elite, why are you promoting Bitcoin like cashless society? Why are you promoting this? You know, it doesn't make no sense to me. Anyway, I said, right, now I know what's going on. Then I found out the same day that he's having the rallies with Piers Corbin. And I thought, oh my God. So I called him on his phone. And he asked me to organize, okay, a few people up north. I organized a few people up in, I don't know, where was it? I think Leicester it was, I think. And I've got a bus, a coach, full of people ready to come down to London, okay? And I called him. I said to mate, I said, are you doing these rallies with Wes Gardner? Yeah. I said, do you know who he is? Yeah. So you know that he is a Stand-Up X admin? Well, he's not admins anymore. Well, that's what he says. You know, that's what he says. What he says, you know, is a different thing to the truth. It doesn't mean that he's telling you the truth. And I said, okay, I said, I'll give you that. I said, are you doing this rallies with Piers Corbyn? Yeah, I am. I said, I thought, Giza, I said, you're outing infiltrators. You said on your live feed, let's out the infiltrators. That's what you said. You said that you outing infiltrators. But yet again, you're running around with the biggest infiltrator himself. So how are you outing infiltrators? Hang on, I have to go, you know, I have to talk to someone. Put the phone down, okay? So I said to everyone who was up Leicester, don't even bother going to that coach. Don't bother, you know? I said, Giza is one of them as well. He's an infiltrated one as well, because he is running around with the biggest infiltrator. But more things I found out. Did you know about the age of his wife? About his relationship with his wife, with his ex-wife?
No.
They're not married anymore. Right. Now, Geza Teriani done a live feed with a Polish person. You know, his name is Václav something. He always does the videos of the stand-up acts, you know, rallies. He's done a live video. It was, I think, an hour, maybe a little bit more, okay? And he said that he had a happy relationship with his, a happy marriage for a year with his wife, okay? And he's divorced his wife recently, okay? And people got hold of me who knows his wife, and they told me, he said, listen, Ali, he said, when he divorced his wife, she was just coming up 22 years old, okay? So she wasn't even 22 then. There was 2 months away of her birthday, okay? So say she was 22 years old, basically, just, you know, not to get people confused. So she was 22 years old when Giza divorced her. But Giza said on the live video with his own words, and I've got that video, he said that with his own words, that he was dating his wife 7 or 8 years before, you know, 7 or 8 years previously before they got divorced.
So she must have been about 14 then.
Thank you.
Right, so basically, Gazer, the last time I spoke to Gazer, he basically said he and Piers Corbyn were pretty close. So, and the fact that you're saying or alleging that Piers Corbyn is working for the government, does that mean that Gazer is therefore working for the government? As a,
well, I'm not saying he is working for the government. I'm not saying that, okay, because I don't know that. But for me, it's just shifty, you know, because when Gaza said that he's outing infiltrators, okay, you know, many people know about Piers Corbyn, about the money he's been taking. And he's got insiders of the MI5 as well. And he's working very closely with the police as well.
Well, I mean, if you're working with the police, if you're working with MI5-6, then effectively you're working for the government, if that is the case. So basically, I think this is a lesson to be learnt here for everybody, that when a lot of you have given me a load of stick about the Doctors Alliance, for example, outing them, outing Simon Dolan and his business interests, he is, what I've seen of Simon Dolan, you know, is he's got an accountancy company which deals with, shall we say, tax mitigation. And so if all these politicians didn't mitigate their tax, then maybe we would have an NHS to be proud of. Maybe we would have an education system to be proud of, because it seems to me that only the ordinary people of this country actually seem to be paying, well, going through the books, as it were. This tax mitigation is only for the rich people, and it's all right, these people who and also what else did I see? He was praising, you know, it's nothing, not rocket science to look at why would a multimillionaire be leading an organization when he lives in abroad. What interest would he have in the lives of the people in the UK as a multimillionaire, having written a book, didn't go to university, wrote a book, How to Make Millions Without Going to University. But he was on Twitter, so the warning bells were there all along. So I cannot understand why anybody is supporting financially these people. But why, this is just common sense, isn't it? I mean, this is what we were brought up to have, common sense, and to think, well, who are these people? So he'd done on Twitter. I mean, not everybody's on Twitter, admittedly, but before you donate to people and people are bad-mouthed the government, then you ought to also look at people, who you are donating to without checking the facts first. He put out on Twitter, just after supposedly doing something against the government, shortly after that, there was a picture of Dominic Raab at a food bank, and Simon was praising him. Now, quite frankly, Ali, if I've got an issue with you and I'm taking you to court, the last thing I'm going to do is say you're a jolly good fella on Twitter. Do you see what I mean? It doesn't work. I mean, it's a bit common sense, isn't it?
Of course. What people don't realize is with Simon Dogan, obviously, he's a multi-millionaire. But if you look at him, he's asking for donations as well to take the government to court. And I'm thinking, like, why? You are already a multi-millionaire, so why do you ask from ordinary people money? You already got, so you can pay your own solicitors, you can take the government from your own pocket because you're not going to lose out because you've got millions, okay? But again, what I'm thinking is at the moment, okay, before Kerry, Mark Steele, Piers Corbyn, all these people were getting along, okay? But now suddenly there's a war between Piers Corbyn, Mark Steele, and Kerry. Kerry and Mark Steele sticking together, having a war against Piers Corbyn, telling things about Piers Corbyn turning around, telling things about, Mark Steele and all that. That is a war, okay? Now, but what I'm thinking now is, okay, why does this all happen? In my eyes, obviously, again, like John Carlton is the name to be looked at as well. Okay.
I don't know that person. Ali, can we do another show? Because I know my battery's going to run out on my phone. Because I've done 2 shows tonight. This was the second one. Ali, I'm hoping. Let me just look at a comment that somebody's put up here. The Shills are playing a very dangerous game, says Gus Org. And if this is true, they want to be prepared for some repercussions. Dominic Raab is a Zionist infiltrator, says Shakil Shohan. Yes. So a lot of them misguiding the masses. Yes, that's right. There we go. Not even finished your joint and already passed at the crack, Lance. Right, who's that? Well, many shills getting on your lives today, Caroline. Well, they. You call me Lance Wilson. I don't know who these people are. Tax mitigation is legal. You don't have to be rich. Yes, but I'm not saying it's not. That's why I said specifically tax mitigation. Just because that is not. If nobody pays tax, then why should the ordinary people pay tax?
Yes.
And anyway, isn't that the reason? Is this the reason? If you've got accountancy companies and you're making money, what is this?
Exactly.
Somebody else is saying, for jealous, hardly you keep your. I don't know who this Lance Wilson is.
What is she saying? Oh, he.
People are saying, look at blocked by Gazer.
Yes.
There's a Lance Wilson. He seems to be a problem on here.
What is he saying?
I don't know who he is. Diane Williamson.
Don't know.
Wesley Jackson. Who's Wesley Jackson?
I'm not sure.
Radoslaw Kalizuk is fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, he's the one who done the live feed with Giza, who I mentioned earlier. Radoslaw.
Right, okay. So basically, the bottom line, because I know my battery is going to run out, and the bottom line is, in my opinion, and Ali, thanks for sharing that information, because you've got a perspective that I haven't got. The bottom line is, that our government is corrupt. It acts in treason and is treacherous every single day. These people that you have talked about and that we all know now on this live feed, these people have been rewarded for in some way to do what they have done. And in actual fact, the people who are being disrespectful on here either work with them or cannot comprehend the gravity of what a fifth columnist can impact on other people around them. People get arrested because they think that these fifth columnists are getting arrested with them. But it's a honey trap. You've got satanic rituals due to the meeting in certain areas. This is all really important information. And if people don't understand that, well, fair enough. If you want to keep following the Pied Pipers who give you no solution, who pretend they're Christians and pretend they believe in the Creator. Yeah, as you said, Satan believes in the Creator, but to purposely mislead people is actually far worse in my eyes for the people than those who you know are being blatantly honest and say I'm working on the dark side. So do you see what I'm saying? It's the double agent side of things.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is that all these organizations will start collecting your mobile number. They will start collecting your email address. They will, if you have got a case to talk about, that as you've got yourself into a problem as a whistleblower, look what happened to the lady in America who died. And you are giving your information to people who are simply there to entertain you. Well,
mainly satanic pedophiles.
Absolutely. And
mainly satanic pedophiles.
You can sit at home and watch Strictly Come Dancing. You can sit at home and watch Bake Off if that is all you're interested in. But if you're interested in seeking the truth, find out who, analyze these people and stop going with the herd, because this isn't going to get us anywhere. We do need to pray. We really do need to pray, because in the end times, that you're getting a lot of clever people who are getting befuddled, and it's about time we come back to basics, learn what's really important. And it's not a case of no one else. You come into this world on your own with your Creator.
That's it.
And you will go out on your own with your Creator. Now, it's about time people started thinking a bit inward for a minute and thinking, well, hang on, look what I've done in my past. Blah, da, 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 da. Make your peace with your Creator before it's too late.
Yeah. And what I have to say as well, if you don't mind, many people, like when I talk about, about these people who I'm exposing, they say, oh, Ali, why are you doing this? You are doing a division. And I'm thinking like, hang on a minute. If you call this a division because I'm outing the bad people, so be it. I'm dividing the bad from the good. That's my opinion. That's my personal truth. And I always say, don't, let me convince you, or don't let anyone convince you. Don't.
Find out yourselves.
Exactly.
Get off your bottoms. Listen. Read.
That's it.
God gave you a brain. He gave you eyes. He gave you ears. Don't take Ali's word for it.
Yeah. Just look into it.
Look into it. Right, I'm going to have to go. And because my battery is running out. Ali, you're a star, and I think you've been very brave, and I think we're both very brave. But, the truth will out, and we have to face our Maker at the end of the day. You've either got some time now to sort yourselves out, and we've got to pull together. But yes, these people are here to divide, because they've done this pantomime act all the time. And
just the last thing what I want to mention, last other thing what I want to mention. I just say to people who says we are awake, we know what's going on. Most of them they're not. Just look what the government are doing at the moment. Okay, you know what their problem is, how they work this out. Okay, so they are already killing the elderly in the care homes. Okay, by locking them up. They are, the government, already killing sick people like the cancer patients or the other illness patients by them not getting their treatment, what they really need. They are already killing them off. And then the age group between children, okay, and elderly, like me and you, the like-minded people, they put division into them, so they kill each other. They get rid of each other. So what's left in the end? The children. And that's what they want.
And that's what we're fighting for, the children. It's the children. It's not about going on to Sons of Liberty Media.
No.
It's not about ego. It's about our children. End of. Right, thank you, Ali.
Future generation. No problem.
Yeah, bless you. Hope everybody has a great Christmas. I will be live tomorrow at 10 o'clock with Alexandra JB, and I hope Ali can join me in the new year.
I hope so. I will.
Is that all right, Ali? You take care, and please do share this video because I think everybody's.
I will do.
I hope everybody's learnt something. Goodbye for
I
now.
hope so. Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye, Ali. Thank you.